The nation's aviation security architecture has just suffered what security experts are currently describing as one of the most embarrassing, dangerous, and highly exposed insider compromises in recent history. A massive scandal has just blown completely open at the airport involving the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and a group of highly compromised security personnel who completely abandoned their sworn duties. Imagine the absolute shock across the country today when the Department of State Services officially announced that they had to arrest their very own personnel alongside several other top security agents from different departments for heavily collecting bribes. These bribes were not just for small, everyday favors. They were specifically and intentionally paid to completely blindfold the law and secretly facilitate the escape of the powerful former governor through highly restricted areas of the airport upon his sudden return to Nigeria just a few weeks ago. When a political heavyweight of El-Rufai's massive stature is directly involved in a national security breach of this exact magnitude, the entire country is forced to stand still and ask very tough, uncomfortable questions about the true state of our national borders and the absolute loyalty of the men and women in uniform who are heavily paid and sworn to protect them. This was absolutely not just a simple mistake or a slight oversight at a regular security checkpoint. This was a highly coordinated, deeply corrupt, multi-agency betrayal of public trust that allowed unauthorized illegal access into the most sensitive areas of a critical national infrastructure, actively obstructing lawful security operations that were supposed to be carried out on the returning former governor upon his sudden return to Nigeria just a few weeks ago. The sheer scale and boldness of this security compromise forced the federal government to immediately launch a massive, unprecedented joint investigation to fish out the bad eggs. This high-level, no-nonsense probe brought together the absolute top brass of the Department of State Services, the Nigeria Immigration Service, the Nigeria Customs Service, and the Federal Ministry of Aviation. They rigorously combed through the airport's security footage, tracked digital movements, and aggressively interrogated personnel until they completely exposed the 5 central figures who orchestrated this disgraceful airport escape plot. The identities of these compromised officers have now been made fully public, and it paints a very disturbing picture of exactly how deep the rot of corruption goes across our different security agencies. The arrested individuals include an assistant superintendent of police named Ayuba Yakubu, a Department of State Services operative named Murtala Inua, an assistant superintendent of immigration identified as Najib Murtala, and 2 aviation security personnel named Musa Adamu and Salihu Victor. These 5 men, representing the very agencies that are supposed to be the ultimate unbreakable gatekeepers of our nation, completely abandoned their uniforms and their dignity. They looked the other way, opened highly restricted doors, and provided a VIP escape route for a powerful politician simply because illegal money changed hands. It is a severe and painful slap in the face to every hard-working, law-abiding Nigerian citizen who goes through rigorous, exhausting, and sometimes humiliating security checks at the airport every single day without any special treatment. If you are just as outraged as we are by this blatant VIP corruption by uniform-wearing officers, and you deeply appreciate a news platform that is totally unafraid to bring you the raw, verified facts about what our politicians and security agencies are doing behind closed doors, please take just one quick second right now to smash that like button. Your direct support by liking this video is exactly what helps this crucial information reach more patriotic citizens who desperately need to know the truth about our national security and the true state of our airports. Also, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and quickly turn on your notification bell so you never miss out when we drop our next comprehensive, fact-based report on this ongoing investigation and other major political events shaping our country. We rely entirely on your amazing support to keep exposing these vital national stories directly to your screen every single day, so please ensure you join our growing family. Returning to the incredibly tense situation at the airport, the authorities did not just stop at merely arresting these 5 men. The Department of State Services has officially confirmed to the public that during the intense, behind-the-closed-doors interrogations, these compromised officers actually broke down and fully confessed to the entire criminal plot. They admitted with their own mouths that they received heavy financial bribes specifically to facilitate unauthorized access into those highly restricted airport areas and to intentionally obstruct the lawful security operations that were supposed to intercept or properly process the former governor. Because of the heavy financial corruption involved in this massive national embarrassment, the Department of State Services has officially handed all 5 of them over to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission for immediate and aggressive prosecution. They are going to face the full and uncompromising wrath of the law in court, setting a massive example that nobody is above the security of the nation. But the heavy crackdown did not just end with the bribe takers. The joint investigation also uncovered an entirely different layer of the enablers who thought they could get away with bad behavior. The authorities discovered that there were additional personnel from both the Nigeria Immigration Service and the Nigeria Customs Service who may not have collected a single kobo in criminal bribes, but they absolutely abused the power of their government uniforms. These particular officers used their official presence to unlawfully facilitate this unauthorized access, acting like personal, unofficial escorts for the politician out of mere subservience or the desperate desire to please a VIP. While their actions were not deemed financially criminal in this specific instance because no money was traced to them, the authorities have firmly stated that they will absolutely not escape punishment. They are currently lined up to face very strict and severe administrative disciplinary actions within their respective agencies for dragging the reputation of their uniforms through the mud. This entire unbelievable scandal brings up a very massive and highly uncomfortable conversation about how very important personalities are treated in this country. Why do our security agencies suddenly become weak and completely submissive the moment a former governor or a wealthy politician walks into an airport? This terrifying incident clearly shows that our critical national infrastructure is incredibly vulnerable as long as the men guarding the doors can be easily bought with a few bundles of cash or intimidated by a big name. What are your honest thoughts on this massive security breach by these 5 officers? Do you think handing them over to the Anti-Corruption Commission is enough punishment, or should they face even harsher military-style tribunals for compromising a national airport and aiding an escape? And what do you think should ultimately happen to the former governor for allegedly initiating this massive bribery ring at the airport? Please take a moment to drop your honest, detailed thoughts in the comment section below because your unique perspective is a highly vital part of this important national conversation.